Just as a reminder for the board, that there's only 3 members that show up. You need a quorum. All 3 you have to say yes for it to be approved.
Okay, thank you. Let's call the meeting to order. If you would call the roll, please.
Mr. Pike?
Yes.
Mr. Peugeot? Mr. Delahunt?
Here.
Mr. Matthews?
Here.
Dr. Siemens?
We have 3 of 5. We have a quorum for the meeting. I hope you've had a chance to read the minutes from the July 21st meeting. If you have, if there's any changes, otherwise we need a motion to approve as presented.
Motion.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Opposed? Minutes are approved. This is an adjudication hearing, so if you're going to be giving testimony, you're going to need to be sworn in. It's fairly simple, painless. Just raise your right hand. You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? If so, say, I do.
I do.
You are sworn in. Okay. This hearing is on 842 North Depot Street. It's a variance to a zoning code, section 1139.06, I-1, to construct a 10-foot high fence in a manufacturing zoning district. We have the staff's comments. Is there anything additional you wish to add?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The site on the agenda tonight is zoned limited manufacturing. To the north is zoned 3 different zones. It's R2, F2 family residential, CS commercial service, and then LB local business. To the east is limited manufacturing. To the south is single family residential and public facilities. And then to the west is just public facilities. Surrounding uses of this property are residential, commercial, and business. The existing use of this land is vacant and also like an open field. The proposed use of the site is an impound lot, which is a permitted use in a limited manufacturing zoning, and it's to allow a 10-foot fence above the height limit. The applicant constructed the 10-foot fence with barbed wire. Has stated it's for overflow impound lot, which is associated with his towing business across the street at 1621 Central Ave, and this would be for overflow and then large vehicle parking, which his current site cannot accommodate. So just as a reminder that an additional fence permit would be required in a normal circumstance here. This lot's kind of unique in a sense that it's narrow, it's a large lot, but it has limited space. You kind of have to grow out and use all the space available just because of the shape of it. So shown on the screen here is an image of the existing impound lot and then towing business. On the bottom is the existing 10-foot fence with barbed wire, which has been constructed. With the barbed wire, it's approximately 11.5 feet tall without an exact measurement. There is a high-density residential homes in close proximity of the site, but staff has not received any phone calls or complaints from these residents who got notified. The applicant stated the 6-foot fence on the existing impound lot has not been sufficient. They have had several break-ins in the past and damaged vehicles which have been impounded, which had came out of the owner's expenses. There had been no fence permitted or applied for before this meeting. The applicant was unaware of the process and also the height limit. The applicant's wish is to seek a variance for the height first, and then after that obtain a fence permit. He stated he wants to comply with the city's requirements if all possible. Excuse me. Based on that and given the unique location of this property, plan staff supports a variance at 842 Depot Street. Staff recommends one of the following 2 options for the Board of Zoning Appeals to consider, and that is that the fence remains at 10 feet, but the barbed wire is removed. Or option 2 is that the fence is lowered to a height of 8 feet and the barbed wire stays. And as a reminder, the board has the authority to present the fence or approve the fence as it is presented here tonight at 10 feet with the barbed wire. But that is not a staff recommendation. And then a condition to whatever recommendation is chosen is that staff would require all necessary permits to be obtained through the building, engineering, and planning departments. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak in favor of this request? And if so, if you'd please come to the podium, state your name and your address so that the clerk can record it.
I'm the owner of it. Do I have a right to speak?
That's, if you're in favor of the request, yes.
These are great pictures. The one on the bottom, you can see, yes, it is the right That is the fence. Everything across the street on the top picture is mine. I own the entire city block.
Would you give your name, address
Where do you
to,
want me, right here?
yes,
Thomas Billman. My home residence is 915 Polk Street, Sandusky. The business is 1621 Central Avenue. Okay, I'll start over. I own the entire block across the street from this. Okay? There's one man on the corner that this would interfere with his line of vision. Yes, I did do it in the contract that I had with the fence guy. When he gave me the options of fences, he told me he was going to contact Oops. He told me he was going to contact or apply for the permits. So I left it at that. Then he gave me the option of 8 foot, 10 foot. I never realized there was a ordinance. This is a limited manufacturing, right?
Correct, yep.
Limited manufacturing property. And what this also includes is, I'm spending $555,000 on North Depot Street. Okay? $555,000 is my plan. And this here, I have over $55,000 just in that lot. I want it to stay exactly the way it is. The reason it went to 10 foot is because of the students. When they leave the high school, they come across the railroad tracks. Where does line the railroad tracks? Rocks. They throw rocks at everything. They throw rocks at the trains. The train calls the police. The police go out there. 15 kids take off scattering. They can't catch them. I've had busted windshields before. I've had 2 break-ins, and I've already got an 8-foot fence with, they call it 2-foot of barbed wire, but it's leaned out about a 33-degree angle. So you really, if they say 2-foot of barbed wire with the angle, it's about 1.5 foot in actual height. But if you measure it with a tape, it does go 2 foot. With the 10 foot, I'm hoping anything they throw, by the time it goes up and over the fence, it loses enough velocity it won't bust any windshields. That is the reason I put up the 10 foot. I didn't put it up to, inspire a big meeting over it. I thought the fence company, they told me they were taking care of Oops. They told me they were taking care of permits. And then I didn't know about it until Alex and I had talked about it. And then I came down to try to get a permit, and we weren't sure if we were even going to be able to build the lot because we weren't sure how it fell in the limited manufacturing group. So the main purpose of the fence is to keep it broken windshields. Now, I understand it's a limited manufacturing, but it's not like 10-foot fences don't exist in this town. Tennis courts have 10-foot fences. And I'll say, I admit, I've traveled this city and I checked every industrial place, the old Sandusky Plastic, Sandusky Foundry, everything has an 8-foot fence with 2 foot of barbed wire. Okay, I'm wrong there. But they have 10-foot fence around tennis courts. Why? Keep balls in. I'm trying to keep rocks out. Same purpose. The detention home has a 12-foot fence with 3 foot of barbed wire. So it's not like the fences don't exist. So that's my whole case. I'm trying to develop this property. I have a building going up next month. I bought all this land. I've owned a business here since 1994. It looks like a hayfield since 1994 across the street. Railroad never took care of it. You go out there now, it looks like a yard. I mow it regularly. It looks nice. I get compliments. People stop me every Sunday when I'm out there mowing. This looks so nice now that you started mowing it. Man, thank you. It wasn't my goal to get compliments, but it does look nice. And I wish somebody would go down there and look and say, damn, it really does. That's the whole argument.
great,
I mean, I'm not opposed to I've got 8-foot fence and 2 foot barbed wire. Kids go over it like it ain't there. I've had 2 break-ins. You can't prosecute them. We've had them arrested, both of them. And then my case gets thrown out in plea bargaining. There's nothing you can do. You know, that or they go up in a hoodie and you can't see their face. I have security cameras. You know, we got them on film, but you can't prove it. They're wearing a hoodie. You can't see their face. You know, we caught one and we know who the other guy was and we prosecuted him. But the cases were thrown out in the regular judicial process. So that's my whole case, you know. And like I said, if there's an extra fee, you know, I'm for paying any fees that are part of it, you know. So I leave it up to you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions for me?
Well, you here to talk?
No, sir.
Oh, okay.
So you think this 10-foot fence with the barbed wire, you think that's gonna resolve the problem?
I won't say it'll resolve it, but I think it'll surely slow it down.
Slow it down.
And then, I don't know if you can see, but you can see in the corners, in the bottom picture.
Mm-hmm.
So see the corner poles are taller?
Right.
Okay, so a friend of mine's got these things. They actually use them in Central Park. They're like shade nets.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they put them out for shade, they tie them to poles. A friend of mine's got a couple of them. And in the summertime, he's gonna give them to me, I'm gonna put them up. That's why I put the extra tall poles up. And I'm gonna see if that helps. They'll have to come down in the wintertime because they'll catch snow. But in the summertime, once all this gets settled, you know, I'm gonna try it and see if it helps at all. Right now, we're safe. You know, it just got up. The kids, I think it went into actual working mid-July, so the kids were out of school. So, you know, we'll see how it pans out once school starts back up. So,
Who's your fence contractor?
Fremont Fence Company.
Okay, and they told you they would get the fence permit?
They did, and actually in the contract, it doesn't say anything about it. They did contact, they told me, oops, and the permits, they handle it. And it, you know, it was just, you know, I was just talking to the guy, he came out, he verbally, then he sent me a quote. I had to sign acceptance, send him half of the money down. That fence was $18,000, not a cheap investment. So, you know, and it would have been, I think it was $2,000 cheaper if I only went with 8-foot fence.
Okay.
So-
But did you talk to him since and said, hey, I've
No,
got to go here, you know, is he gonna get
no,
a permit for you?
I'm just scared to see what he's gonna charge me to lower it.
Well, I'm more concerned if, is he gonna get the fence permit now, or are you, and you're just gonna say, hey, he's
Well,
off?
I'm just gonna do it now because, you know,
Okay.
I want it settled. I'm not here to make any waves.
The vehicles you put in here, where do they come from? You
I
called
tow
by-
for all the police departments.
Okay, the police department have any requirements for fence?
No. All they require is a secure impound lot.
Okay, do you have lights?
I have lights coming. They're in the process. I'm actually buying them right from Ohio Edison. Ohio Edison has a program where you lease the light
Okay,
for $10 a month, and they pay for the electricity and the maintaining of the light. So I actually have 2 of them across the street, and we're waiting for them to put them up. We've already had an agreement on it. We're waiting for them to go up.
okay, does Ohio Edison need to get permits to put those in, or, because they put them in on their property, or?
No, there would not be a process for permitting for highlights
I'm just
on that.
afraid if we put lights up,
Yeah.
if the Ohio Edison, they're back further, that, you know, we're gonna throw light on the neighbors is all.
The only language we have in our zoning code is that night light, or not, how's it phrased? I might have to look it up for the exact wording, but like lights that face towards the ground are preferred is how it's more or less worded to avoid light pollution.
Are these lights automatic when
Yeah,
someone
no, they
show
run
up?
off of, just like the street lights. They're the orange colored lights.
I know, but what I'm saying, let's say a kid run up there at night or a person, would the lights come on, or are they gonna be on all the time?
No, they only come on with the street lights.
Yeah, I know, but so they'll be on all night?
Right.
Oh, okay, I'm just asking, you know.
Yeah. Now, can you go back to that other picture where it shows okay, so if you look at that orange picture, so the orange picture, or the pink, whatever color you want to call that, so that's my entire property. That goes from Prospect Street all the way to the train station. What you don't realize is there's almost 100 foot of railroad tracks. and that might be an exaggeration a little bit, but there's 7 sets of tracks behind my property. So there's nothing. I know there's residents on South Depot or Seavers Way, but there is a large buffer between me and the residents.
Mr. Billman, I did drive by, and I will say, damn, it does look nice.
Well,
You did
and you know-
a really nice job.
Well, thank you, I really appreciate it. I mean, people were using it for a landfill.
Yeah,
You
no,
wouldn't believe
you really
the
did a good
shit
job.
I hauled out of there.
Yeah.
And we had squatters down by the train station. You probably can remember back when there was a water tank sat down there by the Amtrak station. Well, they took the water tank out years ago, but the 4 pillars that held the water tank up are still there. A lot of trees have grown up, squatters.
Do you have any plans for any landscaping or anything that around there?
Well, so
trucks
next to
that
this
put-
lot, to the east,
Okay.
next month, I'm constructing a barn, 150-foot by 60-foot barn.
Make sure you get a permit.
We already got it.
I'm reviewing it right now, actually, so.
$2,700 worth. I bought-
Good.
But that brick horseshoe, I'm salvaging that. I'm using that as the
Saw
driveway,
that. Yeah,
you know.
very nice.
So that is going, so that's gonna be there. And then once that gets done, then we're gonna put landscaping in.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make you got
Okay.
another question? Okay.
Well, not so much a question
Question or
as a question for you. One of the items that you answered here is the strict application of zoning code which the variance is requested constitute a hardship on the property owner, the applicant. And you said, no, it's not, nothing's, the zoning code isn't a hardship on you. Isn't it the reverse, that it is a hardship? Your hardship is that.
Financially.
Well, financially, I don't care about it. I don't care if it costs you an extra $100,000. That's not an issue here. To me, it's a hardship. Hey, I've got a problem with kids throwing things. I got a problem.
yeah.
You know, if I had to have a 6-foot fence, you know, I might as well not bother because, you know, they break in so
And the
easily.
fence guy said, look, you know what, and the fence guy said, I'll be honest with you. All they'll do is cut it. They won't go over it no more. They'll come along with bolt cutters and they'll cut it. If they want in there, I said, I can't see these people that car got impounded and they left something in it, going out and buying a pair of bolt cutters or stealing a pair of bolt cutters and going through all that work to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have some pretty nice cars in there right now.
No, every one of them are abandoned.
Oh, they are?
Every vehicle in that lot right now is abandoned. Now that orange trailer and the black trailer are my personal trailers. But every other one of them vehicles right now is abandoned.
They have some nice cars there.
And there are a couple of nice ones. There's a 2017 Fusion right there.
They don't like the cars, right?
So my point is that you do have a hardship here and it's one of security.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the variance and that Mr. Billman is allowed to keep the fence as constructed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on that motion? If not, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Fike?
Yes.
Mr. Delahunt?
Yes.
Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
The variance is approved as requested.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing a nice job down there. That's great.
If there's no other business,
Motion.
That's it.
motion to adjourn,
Motion that we adjourn?
a second. We're adjourned.
We
Thank you.
are.
A little longer than last month.
Hey,
Last month was 8
our
minutes.
paycheck gonna look good this month, ain't it?
I said-